Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're joining us today in this live lecture presented at Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University by Dr. Obioramba Iboweze. Today's date is for market day in the 12th month of the Igbo lunar calendar called Onwa Ede Ajama. In the Igbo calendar, we are still in the 12th month called Onwa Ede Ajama. While in the Roman Catholic calendar, we are in January 11th, 2025. Remember, at Nkolo Mahadum, we are set up to decolonize your minds from mental slavery, brainwashing, misinformation from foreign media and schools, churches, music, and other influences they exert on our people, including miseducation. That's why we package and present lectures in Biafran and African perspectives. The way you should be seeing things, the way you should be interpreting things. Therefore, invite everybody, your family members, your children, your friends in this live lecture. And if you miss any of our lecture, go back and listen to it. And go back to our previous lectures, because all the lectures were packaged and delivered for your interest, for your benefit. Therefore, we are calling on you to please join and subscribe into our YouTube channel. Also, like, comment, share our lectures to everybody you know, because it will benefit all of us. The title of today's lecture, the topic of today's lecture is Permanent Hell for All Animals, including human beings, is death. The title of today's lecture is that the permanent hell for all animals, including humans, is death. Because at death, we decay, smell, and are eaten by other prey. And what is death? Death is the end of a person, or death is the end of a life of a person or organism. Remember, it includes all living things, plants and animals, like trees, plants, human beings, bacteria, frogs, bees, wolves, snakes, ants, sharks, and any form of living things you see on this earth, to mention a few. We as humans, we do eat plants and other animals to survive. And sometimes we even cut down a tree when we are trying to construct a road or build a house. We cut many trees down in order to allow us to build that road or house. And when we cut a tree down, we already killed that tree. That tree is dead and doesn't know what we are doing with it. Whether we want to cut it to wood, it doesn't know. Whether we want to cut it to sell, to build a house, that tree does not know. And so humans eat plants and other animals and uses other living things like trees to achieve what they want to achieve in life. What is hell? According to Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University, we have defined hell here to mean any suffering a man or a human being or other living things are passing through. Any suffering a human being and other living things are passing through is defined as hell by Nkola Mahadum, Wisdom University. This definition differs from the one from the Bible. The Bible, hell, tells us that when we die, that is when we go to hell. But Nkola Mahadum is telling you today, Nkola Mahadum Wisdom University is making us to know today that hell is existing while we are alive on this earth. But the ones we have on this earth while we are alive can be classified as temporary hell. And so any condition of a human being that makes one unhappy or makes one to not to feel happy is hell. E.g., example, hunger is hell. Heat, mosquito bites, bad roads, bad hospitals, scorpion stink, snake bites, quarrels, anger, to mention a few. All these are temporary hells that we undergo every time of the day or days in our lives. So hell is existence. We are in hell at any point in time, depending on how we feel in this world. Anytime we are unhappy, if we are hungry, we don't have anything to eat, we are in hell. But it is temporary, because when you eat, then you have solved that problem. When you are in an environment where mosquito is biting you, you are in hell. But when you move away from that environment or you stop that mosquito from biting you, then you are out of that hell. So it's temporary. So that's why we classify it as temporary and permanent hell, which we undergo as we live in this world. What is permanent hell? Permanent hell is death. The one that is permanent is death. When we die, we are in permanent hell because we have lost consciousness. We do not know what is happening to us at that point after we lose our last breath. When we die, we don't know what is happening to us. Just like when we cut down a tree, that tree doesn't know what is happening to it when we were using it to cook or to use it to build a house. That tree does not know. And so when humans die, that is permanent hell for every human being. And every human being is scheduled to die at some point in our life. And when we die, some cultures perform what we call cremation. They burn the body because you don't know what is happening to you. They're going to burn your body, and some of them put the ashes from that body into the bottle or somehow or somewhere to preserve it. And some countries that perform this cremation, which is burning of the body, includes Japan, Hong Kong, Nepal, South Korea, India, some in USA, Poland, Italy, Spain, France, to mention a few. In many African and other places, we bury the dead. We bury the dead. When we bury the dead, the body, our body, which is lifeless, decays, smells, and are eaten by other prey like ants, worms, others, just like we eat a dead goat, chicken, cow, sheep, etc. Just like we humans kill a goat, or kill a chicken, or kill a cow, or kill any living thing and you eating it, the same way when we die, we fall prey to others who also eat us as human beings, as their own food. And so we are eaten by ants, worms, and others. And that is permanent hell. Because at that point, you don't know what is happening to you. And everybody on this earth must experience that permanent hell. Even if you are a president of a country, at some point of your life, you must experience that permanent hell. Are you a governor of a state? Are you the Pope? Are you a bishop? Are you a reverend father? Are you a business leader, community leader? Are you rich? Are you a millionaire or billionaire? Are you poor? Are you living in poverty? Are you white, black, short, tall? However you are, whatever you are, you must experience that permanent death. And that's what Nkoloma wants you to know, Wisdom University wants you to know. That all human beings on this earth undergo through what we call temporary hell and permanent hell. And temporary hell is what we go through on our daily lives. It can come in form of hunger. It can come in form of heat, mosquito bites, bad roads, bad hospitals, scorpion bite, scorpion sting, snake bites, quarrels, anger. But these are temporary because you can correct them. And then we have the one we call permanent hell. The permanent hell is death for everybody because when we die, we have lost consciousness and does not know what's happening to us. And when we die, depending on your culture, that's how your body will be handled. And at that point of your death, you don't know what is happening to you. Just like when we cut down a tree, or when we kill a fish, when we kill that fish from the water, after the fish loses consciousness, that fish doesn't know what is happening to it afterwards. Whether you are frying it or using it to cook soup, that fish does not know. The same with human beings. That is why Nkoloma had defined hell to mean any suffering of a human being or living things. Any suffering a human being or other living things are going through. Those ones are temporary hell. But permanent hell is death. So when we die, depending on your culture, that's how you'll be handled because you do not know what is happening from that point on. And that is permanent hell for everybody on this world, in this world. And some countries do what we call cremation, which means they burn the body and then decide to save it somewhere or go and pour it somewhere. While others, like many in Africa and other cultures, prepare the body and bury the body 6 feet under the ground. And in that place, the body decay, it smells, and will be eaten by other prey, like worms, ants, and other animals that like our body. Just like we also eat chicken, cow, and sheep, and others. And everybody in this world must experience that permanent hell. Whether you are a president of a country, whether you're a governor, whether you're the Pope or the Bishop or the Reverend Father or business leader, community leader, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're white or black, tall or short, you must experience this permanent hell. That is what Nkolomahadum Wisdom University wants you to know today. And because we said we're going to be keeping everything short in our lectures, the takeaway from today's lecture is that we have temporary and permanent hell on this earth as we live on this earth. The temporary hell includes hunger, bad roads, mosquito bites, scorpion sting, snake bites, quarrels, and anger. Why the permanent hell is death. And at death, we don't know what is happening to us. That's permanent hell. And that's what Nkolomahadum wants you to know. And in permanent hell, your culture determines what will happen to your body afterwards. In many countries, they do what you call cremation, which is burning the body into ashes. And in other cultures, they bury the body under the ground, 6 feet under the ground. And when the body is under the ground, the worms, the ants, and other prey feed on that body, just like we also feed on other animals. And everybody undergoes this permanent hell. Whether you're a president, a governor, pope, bishop, reverend father, business community leader, rich, poor, tall, or white, or black, whatever you think you are. And so, wake up from your slumber. Understand the reality that the Bible hell, they tell you that when you die, there's a place you have to go. There's no such place like that. There's no such place like that. We experience both temporary and permanent hell. We experience both temporary hell as long as we live in this world, and everybody experiences the permanent hell as long as we are human beings. And this is what we want you to know today. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us, comment, like, and share. And finally, wake up to dismantle all the colonial boundaries in Africa. But those colonial boundaries is the source of poverty, is the source of migration, is the source of wars, is the source of anger, is the source of the problem we have in Africa and around the world. Stand up and free yourself from colonial suppression, depression. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery so that we can be able to compete with other people around the world. And with this, we shall bring into this lecture. So, thank you very much for joining us today, and have a wonderful, great day. Thank you so much.